Hello, everyone, and welcome inside the MGM Grand Garden Arena, where we are having the official weigh-in for the big pay-per-view event tomorrow night between Manny Pacquiao and Timothy Bradley. On our pay-per-view, we have 3 fantastic fights before our main event, featuring some of the future of boxing, including Jose Ramirez, an Olympian, Oscar Valdez, a 2-time Mexican Olympian, and Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez. But the main event is what everybody's excited about. I'd like to welcome in my partner, Kieran Mulvaney. Kieran, for the 3rd time, Manny Pacquiao and Tim Bradley are going at it. Should be a good one.
It should be a good one, and there's a lot of people think that this might actually be the best of their 3 fights for all kinds of different reasons. You know, maybe Manny Pacquiao has slipped a little bit. Maybe Tim Bradley's able to close the gap. Manny hasn't fought for 11 months. He has a shoulder surgery. Is that going to affect him? And you know, Tim Bradley badly wants this victory. He absolutely knows that theoretically they're 1-1, but he knows there's an asterisk against his win. He wants to make sure this time there's absolutely no doubt whatsoever. But the main event is just one of 9 fights that we will be bringing you in the arena on Saturday night. We're going to weigh them in right now, and we're going to start with the pay-per-view undercard fights. And to do that for us, Lupe Contreras.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my great pleasure to welcome you to the biggest stage in professional boxing. It is the MGM Grand Garden Arena, Las Vegas. It is the official weigh-in. Pacquiao, Bradley 3. The score is 1-1. Tomorrow night, we complete the trilogy. We begin our official weigh-in with a bout opening up our pay-per-view broadcast tomorrow evening, and of course being brought to you by Hall of Fame boxing promoter Bob Arum's Top Rank Incorporated, along with MP Promotions, the motion picture Hands of Stone, the true story of Roberto Duran, starring Edgar Ramirez, Robert De Niro, and Usher Raymond in theaters this August, as well as Breckenridge Distillery, and of course, our host, the MGM Grand Las Vegas. We welcome to the scales the bout that opens up our pay-per-view, 10 rounds for the super lightweight title. WBC Continental Americas, the defending champ, the 2012 U.S. Olympian Jose Ramirez, the challenger. The very rugged fighter from the Mile High City, Denver, Colorado, Manny Manos Perez on the scale, the challenger. This is Manuel Perez weighing in. (137.5 pounds), 137.5. The official weight for Manny Manos Perez, the defending WBC Continental America Super Lightweight Champion and former 2012 U.S. Olympian, the undefeated Jose Ramirez on the scale. (138 pounds), 138. The official weight for the undefeated WBC Continental America's Super Lightweight Champion, putting his undefeated record on the line, the 2012 U.S. Olympian Jose Ramirez, against the very rugged challenger out of Denver, Colorado, Manny Manos Perez. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this will open up our broadcast tomorrow night on pay-per-view. Again, proudly presented to you by Bob Arum's Top Rank Incorporated, along with MP Promotions, La Cerveza Tecate, Born Bold, Hands of Stone, the new motion picture, the true story of Roberto Duran, starring Edgar Ramirez, Robert De Niro, and Usher Raymond in theaters this August, as well as Breckenridge Distillery and our host, the MGM Grand Las Vegas.
Good mindset right there. Avenal native Jose Ramirez weighed in this afternoon in Vegas for the biggest fight of his career. Ramirez will be fighting in his first ever HBO pay-per-view event. He weighed in at 138 while his opponent Manny Perez 137.5. Ramirez is looking to remain undefeated. He's the undercard for the highly anticipated Pacquiao Bradley fight. It all gets going tomorrow night at the MGM Grand Arena. The Golden State Warriors are in some rare.
Tomorrow is a big fight between Manny Pacquiao and Tim Bradley in Las Vegas, but for some young boxers here in the Central Valley, the main event really isn't in Las Vegas. It's the opening fight with Central Valley's own Jose Ramirez. CBS 47's Gregory Woods explains.
Jose Ramirez had some of his first fights at Aleman boxing, and some of the kids I spoke to were there to witness it. They say they've seen him go from the bottom to now premiering in his first pay-per-view fight. She floats like a butterfly and stings like a bee. Just like Muhammad Ali, 13-year-old America Berber is a champion. In 2015, she won the Junior Olympics.
It's like you're a really good boxer from around the nation, all over the states. It feels really good.
Berber says she won thanks to the lessons she learned from her trainer, Frank Aleman, and spending time with Ramirez. She remembers the first time she saw him in this ring years ago.
Because he was undefeated, so I was like if he was going to win that fight, and he did, he won by knockout.
Still undefeated, Jose Ramirez has made it to the big leagues. His first pay-per-view fight is this Saturday. His story of success is one that touches all of the kids here because he started with humble beginnings in this very same gym they train in today.
He's really inspiring to all the community. He's a really good boxer. He's always practicing hard.
I like the way he fights and his style, and he never gives up.
Never give up is a message the owner of Aleman Boxing hopes they all learn.
They have hope in boxing that boxing is not just a dead-end sport, you know, that it could lead somewhere.
And America Berber is willing to go 12 rounds pound for pound with anyone who stands in the way of reaching the same success as her role model.
And not that many boxers are from here that go to pay-per-view for HBO, and so that inspires me and other boxers to go and fight for world championships.
Aleman Boxing is hosting a watch party tomorrow. All of the kids are predicting Ramirez will win by knockout. Reporting in the newsroom, Gregory Woods, CBS 47 Eyewitness News.
In campaign
Community
2016.
Matters, tomorrow is the big fight between Manny Pacquiao and Tim Bradley in Las Vegas. But for young boxers in the Valley, the main event isn't Pacquiao. It's the opening fight of the event with the Central Valley's very own Jose Ramirez. KSEE24's Gregory Woods tell us how Ramirez's success has touched up-and-coming boxers at Aleman Boxing.
Jose Ramirez had some of his first fights at Aleman Boxing, and some of the kids I spoke to were there to witness it. They say they've seen him go from the bottom to now premiering in his first pay-per-view fight. She floats like a butterfly and stings like a bee. Just like Muhammad Ali, 13-year-old America Berber is a champion. In 2015, she won the Junior Olympics.
It's like you're a really good boxer from around the nation, all over the states. It feels really good.
Berber says she won thanks to the lessons she learned from her trainer, Frank Aleman, and spending time with Ramirez. She remembers the first time she saw him in this ring years ago.
Because he was undefeated, so I was like if he was going to win that fight, and he did, he won by knockout.
Still undefeated, Jose Ramirez has made it to the big leagues. His first pay-per-view fight is this Saturday. His story of success is one that touches all of the kids here because he started with humble beginnings in this very same gym they train in today.
He's really inspiring to all the community. He's a really good boxer. He's always practicing hard.
I like the way he fights and his style, and he never gives up.
Never give up is a message the owner of Aleman Boxing hopes they all learn.
They have hope in boxing that boxing is not just a dead-end sport, you know, that it could lead somewhere.
And America Berber is willing to go 12 rounds pound for pound with anyone who stands in the way of reaching the same success as her role model.
And not that many boxers are from here that go to pay-per-view for HBO, and so that inspires me and other boxers to go and fight for world championships.
Aleman Boxing is hosting a watch party tomorrow. All of the kids are predicting Ramirez will win by knockout. Reporting in the newsroom, Gregory Woods, KSEE24 Local News that matters.
Noticiero que le informa primero de lo que pasa en el Valle Central. Su noticiero Telemundo 51 a las 5:30. Comienza ahora.
Muy buenas tardes, gracias por estar con nosotros en esta tarde de viernes. Les saluda Vanessa Ramírez Ávila. Comenzamos. Mañana es un gran día para el boxeo del Valle. Antes del encuentro entre Manny Pacquiao y Tim Bradley en Las Vegas, subirá al ring José Ramírez, quien por primera vez boxeará en un gran escenario. El hijo del Valle nunca ha sido derrotado y su tesón y crecimiento como boxeador son un ejemplo a seguir para los jóvenes boxeadores del Valle. Flota como una mariposa y pica como una abeja. Con tan solo 13 años de edad, América Berber es toda una campeona, no del título de peso pesado como Mohamed Ali, pero sí de las Olimpiadas Juveniles del país del 2015.
Cuando gané, estaba bien contenta porque quería decirle a mi familia que gané.
América dice que ganó gracias a lo que aprendió de su entrenador Frank Aleman y también pasando tiempo con José Ramírez, aprendiendo su forma de pelear.
Y siempre iba por el knockout. Yo también hago eso. Unas veces quiero ir por el knockout si puedo. Y eso también me inspiró y también me gusta cómo se mueve, cómo tira.
José Ramírez tiene su primer encuentro boxístico de pago por evento este sábado desde Las Vegas. Un encuentro que motiva a todos los niños en Aleman Boxing, porque como ellos, José Ramírez tuvo un humilde inicio en el mismo gimnasio donde hoy entrenan.
Me gusta cómo pelea y estoy listo para mirar su pelea. Es una inspiración para todo el Valle porque él también creció cerca de aquí.
Y sin duda todo el Valle tendrá sus ojos en la pelea. El restaurante Hermosa California es el lugar oficial para ver el encuentro. Ahí tienen guantes firmados por Ramírez que serán rifados entre los asistentes y ya existe un pronóstico para la pelea.
José Ramírez va a ganar con un knockout.
América está de acuerdo.
Y eso me inspira porque quiero ser otras de esos boxeadores que sea campeón de aquí, de Centro Valle.
Y cabe recordar que José Ramírez también boxeó en varias ocasiones en las peleas por el agua, tratando de concientizar sobre la necesidad de esta para los agricultores. La pelea es el día de mañana y podrá verla en pago por evento en sistemas de cable o en el restaurante que ya le mencionamos. En otros temas, la policía...
I'm a fighter that always, gives it my all. I leave my heart in the ring. It's hard for me to take a step back. I'm a very hard puncher. I go to the body a lot.
I think that Jose Ramirez is a very humble guy, a very humble man. I expect him to fight well because he's training with Manny Pacquiao. He's training with one of the major names in the trainer, which is Freddie Roach.
Oh, another body shot. That is right on the liver, and he may not be able to recover.
Maybe 85% of my knockouts are with my left hook, and that's where the liver is at. Sometimes you face the tough fighters with a lot of heart, and they just don't fold, and they just keep coming forward. I think hitting them in the body just breaks them down.
He's not Mexican because he's American. He's born in America, but he's still being part of Mexico somehow because their fathers born in Mexico, in Michoacan, a place with a lot of story and cultural stuff for Mexico. So this is very important for the Mexicans living across the border and for the Mexicans living here that have a dream to cross the border and find a new life.
The most spectacular fight night of the year is coming. Before Manny Pacquiao collides with Tim Bradley for the next chapter of their heated rivalry, an action-packed undercard features Arthur Abraham defending the World Super Middleweight Championship against Mexico's Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez. Mexican Olympian Oscar Valdez challenges the gritty former world champion Evgeny Gradovich, the Mexican-Russian. Also in action, U.S. Olympian Jose Ramirez gets his first shot on the big stage against the seasoned veteran Manny Perez.
Pacquiao versus Bradley, Saturday, April 9th, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, live on pay-per-view.
Final round.
There we go.
In the corner, Marvin Simodio just wants to see boxing. I think there's a resignation that you're not going to get a stoppage necessarily here. Maybe, although that uppercut seemed to hurt him. The right hand did too, buddy. But Ramirez with a lot of energy left in the 10th round. He's in tremendous condition.
Yes, he always is in tremendous condition.
You see the selection of opponent here for Ramirez. You know, if Ramirez gets to go the full 10 rounds, good for him. It's a new experience against a tough guy. If he steals the show, which has not happened tonight, by stopping Perez sensationally in a couple rounds, great. It's a can't-lose proposition against a guy who's not a puncher, but has a lot of heart.
I mean, a huge heart.
And you're looking for a punch that Ramirez throws at the body. Well, I think it's his left hook to the body. He didn't really get that punch going early in the fight, but since the middle rounds rolled, he's been hammering away and he's making a difference. And now he has stunned Perez.
Come on.
They might get the rounds and the knockout.
Beautiful left hook.
And Perez's right ear is now swollen up and seems to have come just a little bit away from the skull. Could be that there's a little bit of a rip there.
And Perez is steady coming like a bulldog.
And that also may be why Marvin Simodio just wanted to see some boxing. You look for the knockout, it doesn't come. You just box the way you're supposed to, and maybe this happens.
It almost came with that left hook.
Tremendous round so far by Jose Ramirez, but now he begins to slow down just a little bit with a minute to go.
Good fight.
Good hard right hand by Perez, still throwing.
Tori, he's game as they come, Jim.
He really is.
He is as game as they come.
This has been a tremendous opponent performance by Perez, making it a great educational experience for Jose Ramirez.
Yes, sir. He gave Ramirez everything they paid for Ramirez to get here. And Ramirez has done a really good job of passing his test.
So much leather, still throwing bombs. So, you know, throwing as hard as he can.
Yes, he is. Good fight. Good shot.
What an effort by Manny Perez.
Good shot.
What a hard right hand to the mouth by Jose Ramirez. Come on. Talk about the guts of a burglar. Manny Perez has shown it from start to finish.
Good fight. His power.
And it's a solid right hand for Ramirez today. Good thing this is the last time. Like that.
Man, good fight. Good fight.
Well, so much for playing it safe. That was violent and satisfying. Crowd is whistling its approval here at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas.
live from Las Vegas, Nevada, coming to you from inside the MGM Grand Garden Arena. Tonight, it's the third fight between Manny Pacquiao and Timothy Bradley. Storylines abound, including how Bradley will fare in this fight with new trainer Teddy Atlas, and whether this is Pacquiao's final fight. We'll be getting to these questions and more before our main event, which comes a couple of hours from now. But before Pacquiao-Bradley, we have a three-fight undercard, beginning with Hawaiian-born Manny Perez taking on young, undefeated Jose Ramirez. Former amateur standout Ramirez is the latest Freddie Roach wildcard gym prospect. Then, another top young fighter, Oscar Valdez, takes a step up to face Evgeny Gradovich. And in our final fight before the main event, two-time 168-pound title holder Arthur Abraham faces a young lion in Gilberto Ramirez, who's 12 years younger than Abraham and considered the favorite in the fight. Pacquiao Bradley is being brought to you by MGM Grand, live from Las Vegas. Cerveza Tecate, Born Bold. The new movie Hands of Stone, the true story of Alberto Duran, starring Edgar Ramirez, Robert De Niro, and Usher Raymond, in theaters this August. And by HBO Pay-Per-View, the best in pay-per-view entertainment, brought to you by HBO. And hello again, everybody. I'm Jim Lampley, soon to be joined at ringside by Roy Jones, Max Kellerman, our unofficial scorer, Harold Letterman. We welcome you to this HBO pay-per-view presentation of a really interesting card, which climaxes, of course, with the main event between Manny Pacquiao and Tim Bradley, a fight which officially is billed as the rubber match of a trilogy between the two fighters, but is seen by almost all senior ringside observers as simply the third fight in the trilogy in which Pacquiao has won the first two. The controversial decision for Bradley in the first fight, perhaps the most ridiculed decision in recent boxing history, and it still serves as a motivation for Bradley, who's still trying to prove something tonight as he enters the ring against Pacquiao for the third time. That'll be the main event. We're going to get the card started with an undercard battle between Jose Ramirez and Manny Perez in the 140-pound weight class. Ramirez is a rising prospect trained, as you just recently heard, by Freddie Roach. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape now for Ramirez against Perez. And you see the 8-year age advantage for the former 2012 U.S. Olympian Ramirez. He's 4 inches taller. He's got a 1-inch arm length advantage measured from the armpit to the end of the fist. They both weighed in a couple of pounds under the 140-pound limit for the division, and unofficially on our HBO scale, Jose Ramirez is 2 pounds heavier as he enters the ring tonight. Now let's get started by going to ring announcer Lupe Contreras for the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the biggest stage in professional boxing, the MGM Grand Las Vegas, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to the No Trump undercard, Pacquiao Bradley 3, being presented to you by Hall of Fame boxing promoter Bob Arum's Top Rank Incorporated, along with MP Promotions, La Cerveza Tecate con Carácter, the new movie Hands of Stone, the true story of Roberto Duran, starring Edgar Ramirez, Robert De Niro, and Usher Raymond, in theaters this August. Breckenridge Distillery, and our host, the MGM Grand Las Vegas, this bout, scheduled for a distance of 10 rounds or less for the WBC Continental America Super Lightweight title. Supervisor, Craig Hubble. The 3 judges in charge of scoring are Eric Cheek, Robert Hoyle, and Don Trella. At the sound of the bell, the man in charge, referee Vic Draculich. Introducing first, the fighter standing in the blue corner. He enters the ring wearing black with white trim. He weighed in at an official 138 pounds. In the summer of 2012, he proudly represented the USA at the London Olympic Games. And now, he enters the ring an undefeated pro with 16 victories. 12 of those victories coming by way of KO. Defending his WBC Continental America Super Lightweight title from Avenal, California, Jose Ramirez.
This way.
Across the ring in the red corner, the challenger. He steps in wearing the camouflage trunks and weighed in at an official 137.5 pounds. In 37 bouts as a pro, he has 25 victories against 11 losses, 1 bout even, 6 of those victories coming by way of KO. Fighting out of Denver, Colorado, Manny Manos Perez.
All right, gentlemen, this is for the WBC Continental America Super Lightweight title. It's scheduled for 10 rounds. You received your instructions in the dressing room. Again, I want to caution you. Any punch below this area here will be called low. Any punch below this area will be called low. With that said, I want you to obey my commands, protect yourselves at all times. Touch them up now. Good luck to both of you.
On an undercard for a big fight where they're showcasing some good young prospects in against the toughest challenges of their careers so far. It's Jose Ramirez, who may be the best prospect of the bunch.
And every young fighter wants to build an image with what he does in the ring. But in the case of the 23-year-old Ramirez, you're looking at an extremely ambitious young man who is trying to simultaneously build an image as a crusader outside the ring. He comes from the California farm community of Avenal in California's Central Valley, which truly is the breadbasket of America, badly stricken by drought these past few years. And in every one of his fights, including this one, Ramirez is promoting water rights and fresh water for the farm communities of the Central California Valley, and especially for the people who work in them and who earn their livelihoods from growing food.
Keep them up.
He has had several promotions in California which are called Fight for Water. Fight for Water 1 through 5. And he's drawing crowds, Max Kellerman, up to 14,000 people for his main events on those small cards, which is extraordinary.
Yeah, he hasn't yet really entered the national consciousness, but locally he's already a big draw, and that usually indicates that if he can win on a national level, you know, he will be a draw there too.
It's already paying off for him. He has 11 commercial sponsors, including Discover Car and some large corporate entities. And they've taken note of what he's doing for fresh water for farm communities. And of course, Roy Jones, a guy like Perez with only 6 knockouts in 37 fights, is the kind of opponent who may give you trouble with his technique, but isn't dangerous in terms of punching power.
Not dangerous at all in terms of punching power. And with that being said, you see Ramirez landing some really big shots on Perez's head early. He's landing really big body shots early, already seeming to take a toll on Perez.
Good left hook by Jose Ramirez, trained by Freddie Roach, as we've mentioned a couple of times. And because of his commitment now to being with Roach at the Wild Card Gym in Hollywood, he's spending more time in Southern California than back home in the Central Valley. But it doesn't do anything to diminish his desire to continue punching.
Big right hand from Perez.
Yep, he landed a clean shot on Ramirez's jaw.
That's why, as you mentioned, Jim, it's important in these step-up fights that you're matched right. You know, you're in with a guy who's going to pressure you, land some shots, make you work. But doesn't have the power that maybe some of the top fighters have, so that when a right hand lands like that, the prospect is still standing up.
The hope being that when Ramirez fights somebody who does have the power to hurt him, he doesn't take that shot.
Hopefully he doesn't. And to be honest with you, Jim, in a pair of 8 and 10 ounce buds, sometimes it doesn't matter if you can take a shot or not. Because that right hand really seemed to bother Ramirez.
Couldn't land it much better than that.
Nope.
I got it. Deep breath. Okay.
Freddie Roach deferring here to Marvin Samodio, his assistant, who must do most of the primary work in the gym with Ramirez.
He fights smaller than you. Okay, he likes to fight inside. Okay, be careful with the headbutt. Keep the target here. Okay, aim for his chest. Okay, then a little bit more to the body. Okay, all right.
We only get stronger. You understand what I'm saying?
Now it's just time to go out there and keep that momentum in your pocket. Keep that jab in his body, jab to the head. Right hand to the body, or jab to the body, right hand to the head. You got it, okay? Nicely done. This is you, Pepe. Good job.
Manny Perez, born in Hawaii, but fights out of Denver now. The trainer whom you heard speaking to him is Jacob Ramos. And now we go to round number 2. And you heard Marvin.
From the Philippines,